heaven and earth, because what we do as humans in this existence, we exist according to the yoga philosophy between heaven and earth. We are part divine beings and we are part very physical being, that of the earth, and navigating these two entities can be a tall order. Too much earth and we're like, blech. Too much heaven energy and we take off. So balancing these two. We start with another couple of mudras. So we were pondering the prana mudra and the vyana mudra, the two winds in our bodies. One invites it in, the prana energy, and then vyana, so it diffuses it throughout. So the other two winds that we are contemplating is apana, vayu. So vayu just means wind. Apana means downward. And when we place our hands into these mudras, each finger represents an energy. And for my remembrance, I created this little mnemonic, FASEW, F-A-S-E-W. F is fire, that's your thumb. The A is air. The middle finger, S is space. And then ring finger is earth and pinky finger is water. So how we place our fingers, we balance these 5 elements that are present in everything. Everything is comprised of these 5 elements. And for the earth energy, we place the thumb against the middle and ring finger. So it looks like you are a football fan. I think it's Texas or something. No.
Go Wolfpack. Wolfpack.
Sorry, and I said that in North Carolina country.
Had to correct you, sorry.
You pay the tuition, you have the right to correct me. So you will remember the apana energy, the downward energy. So when we feel anxious, ungrounded, flying all about, this mudra helps ground the energies in our bodies. The mudra also is, I'm just going to get my little cheat sheet here too. If you want to know about mudras, this is a really great book written by Indu Aurora. She is a great mudra master, and I go to her for this. The apana mudra, the caution is, do not teach this to somebody who's pregnant, because this governs all downward movement energy. So of course, if you are constipated, this is a good one to practice because you want things to move downward. So in a lot of ways, yoga is very logic in this manner. And if you just think of the energetic direction you want of things. Now, if you have to be a little, direct in my language, if you have a bout of diarrhea, you already have plenty of downward moving energy, not the mudra that you want to practice. So this is how, from the yoga therapy, that we use mudras in the practice to govern where there's lacking energies or where there are too much. So we'll start with this energy to help ground. We will combine it with simhasa, the lion's breath, because that is also a moving out of energy for the throat chakra. So I'm going to do a little quick circle. Each chakra has their own elements associated with it. The earth chakra, our legs and hips, is governed by earth and water. Then we have I take that back, earth. Then the sacral chakra is water. The stomach is, or the city of jewels is, solar plexus 2 is fire. So you say somebody got a fire in the belly. So a lot of these things we already have in our language. The heart is air and the throat is space. Now the third eye and the crown chakra do not have any elements associated with them. They are beyond elements. You're really flying then. From here, I invite you to close your eyes if it feels safe, or just keep a downward energy, settling into the breath. Breathing into the belly, letting it expand. And then let the air flow back out. Prana moving in. We have harnessed what we need, and we return to the world on the out breath. So Simhasana, lion's pose or lion's breath, is the roar. It looks like this, and now you may open your eyes. You'll take a breath in, open the mouth wide, and stick the tongue out far across your eyes and look at the third eye. So let's do 3 roars. Let's take a deep breath in. Opening the throat chakra, which governs our neck wellness, the thyroid, the thymus, also the ears and the mouth. Now switching to Udana Mudra, just add your index finger to the collection. And now it is the upward energy. So notice, did that change the sensation in your hand? So the pinky finger is hanging out all by itself. I'm just resting my hands on my thighs, palms are facing up. So that's the beautiful thing about mudras. We don't have to do anything. You can very discreetly, if you're feeling sort of very sleepy in a meeting, just create Udana Mudra. And this will begin to lift that earth energy upward. Breathing in and out. And you may sense that the subtle energies in your hands changed as you changed the mudra. And then to this, we're going to add the Brahmari or Brahmari. I've heard them pronounced both ways, which is the bumblebee breath. Humming is really healthy for us. So you don't have to necessarily do Brahmari breath. You can just hum along to your favorite music. A lot of studies are being done right now in connection with COVID about nitric oxide and how humming increases it in our system. Why does this matter? Because it helps fight COVID when we create the balance. With the mask wearing, we're all becoming mouth breathers. And that's not really healthy for us. I can't say we're all becoming, but there's a tendency towards mouth breathing with wearing a mask. Nose breathing is ideal. And the Brahmari breath intensifies this nitric oxide exchange in our body according to the studies that are just now starting to trickle out. It's very simple. Simply breathe in normally to the belly, and as you exhale, you hum. You're not looking to create a certain sound or pitch. You don't really care about what it sounds like. It helps slow down the breath. Let it be as it is. It may be choppy. It may be uneven. Start strong and peter out. Don't worry about it. Don't try to make it pretty. If it feels uncomfortable, then just pause and breathe it normally. We're going to go for 6 rounds of Brahmari breathing. Let's take a breath in. And after the 6th one, just sit quietly. And then open your eyes. And we are ready to start the practice. Release the mudra, come onto your back, have your strap nearby. We're going to start with the morning sequence. We'll call it the evening sequence today. So as you come onto your back, support the head if it needs supporting. That is, if the chin pulls back away from the chest. Let's inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Stretch out through the heel. And hold the arms up as you exhale and get a little bit longer. Leave the arms up if it feels okay. Relax as you breathe in. And exhale, stretch again, full body stretch. Relaxing again. And one more full body stretch. And then relax. If the arms are not resting comfortably with the elbows straight, just slide them out to the sides until they are comfortable. Draw the legs together for the unileg, and then we will, with the legs long and strong, so firm but not rigid. Ankle pumping. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, pump the ankles. Let your body rock back and forth. Pause as you breathe in and repeat. Letting the head rock along as you pump the ankles, and we get this whole fascia seam on the back released. That will facilitate ease in the neck. Pump, 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 pump. And then ankle circles. So again, legs are together, unileg, and take a breath in and exhale. Drawing circles, keeping the feet together. Pause on the in-breath and exhale, switch direction. Circling. Pause again. On the in-breath, switch direction as you exhale. Big ankle circles. Around and around and around. 3 times in each direction. Just pausing it when you complete. And then we move into single knee to chest. Exhale, let's draw the right knee in. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, other leg. Inhale, stretch back out. Make it enjoyable. Yes, this is exercise, but it is also just gentle movement, lubricating, realigning all body parts, reestablishing the tensegrity that I wrote about yesterday. After 3 single knee lifts, double knee lifts. And if your low back is having a day, then maybe lift from bent knees or continue with the single knee lifts. Three double knee lifts. And then let's hug the knees in again. Then we'll release the head down and rock from side to side. And then here, let's do some knee circles too. Both directions. Now release the legs along the mat. Take the arms out to the sides and wedge your right heel, big Achilles tendon, down between the left big toe and second toe. Wedge, wedge, wedge. Maybe a little uncomfortable. The wedging is important to the degree that there is a pressure point at the neck of the big toe that corresponds to our neck, our real neck. And when we apply pressure in this way, we actually help release the neck. Now let's take the left hand on top of the right shoulder. Take a breath in and exhale with twist to the left. Inhaling back, switch. And go to the other side. Let your head turn opposite of your legs. Looking at your stretched out arm. As you twist, straight legs from side to side. Drawing into the twist on the exhalation. And returning to center on the inhalation. So the shoulder you're holding down is the one you're twisting away from. So as you place your hand on your right shoulder, you're going to have your right foot on top. And reminding to keep the shoulder down as you swing the hips to the left. So it's the awkward twist. When you're completed at least 3, we continue with the bent knee twist. Placing the right foot on top of the left knee or thigh, take your left hand to the outer right knee and twist to the left. You again look to your right hand, inhale back. Twist again to the other side after you switch. Foot and hand. I get asked on occasion, can I just do 3 to one side? It'd be so much more efficient. Well, yoga is not really about being efficient. So the switching part is actually part of the sequence. because it allows our brain to get a little bit more involved, the cross patterning, right side, left side of the body, facilitating better communication across their corpus callosum, that midline in the brain. So they say. So I said, well, that sounds reasonable. I'm going to go with it. Again, at least 3 times to each side. And then from here, let's do a full body stretch just to realign the spine before we move to the hamstring stretches. So take your strap, and I invite you to make a little loop of the strap. So that you can loop, there we go. You can draw your right knee in, strap the heel, and take the leg to the sky. So the strap is just extensions of my arms, where everything in my shoulders are relaxed. So now, before we get all jiggy with the right leg, rock slightly forward on the pelvis, and then get your left leg on the job. So ground the left leg. Get as much of the back of the thigh onto the mat as you can by tilting the pelvis forward. Now holding that exactly where it is as you slowly tilt the pelvis back so that you are more centered on the sacrum. Right knee straight. I don't care how high it is, but it is straight. So straightening your right knee so that the quads, the front of the thigh, are engaged. Don't take the knee or the leg past 90 degrees. There's absolutely no reason for that. When you're at 90 degrees, we begin to anchor the hip rather than continuing to stretch. But until 90 degrees, we invite a little bit more stretch. Taking a breath in, and as you exhale, let your right hip draw towards the floor. And if the leg is not quite at 90, invite it up a little higher. If the leg is at 90 degrees, that's hard to see, I know. Then begin to really hug the hip to the thigh bone into the hip, engaging all of these little hip rotators, extensors and flexors. Let's do one more breath. Breath in, back of the leg lengthen, breath out, ground the legs. And then let's take the left leg up, slip it under the strap, and take the right leg out. And again, allow your leg just to tip forward a little bit so I get the back of my right leg on the ground. Get the back of the right leg on the ground. So I'm tipping my whole pelvis forward. And then I glue the back of my right leg to the ground as I begin to take my pelvis back to neutral, right on the sacrum. And we are ready to work. Inhaling, lengthening up through the heel, and then exhale, ground both your right leg, but also your right hip. And if still working up towards 90 degrees, and that can be more than one lifetime worth of work, inviting a little encouragement from the hands to draw up and from the quads engaging. Let's take a breath in, exhaling again, enjoying this little hamstring hip grounding event. One more breath. And we'll take the right leg back up under the strap. Take the left leg down. Get it well anchored again, firm. So it's still on the job. Last week we practiced Parsvottanasana, the intent side stretch. With the both legs are straight, we came into it from Warrior One. That's basically the pose you are in right now, but with perfect spinal alignment. Now let's take your right hand to the outer right hip and encourage the hip to draw down. Just notice that it hop up towards the right shoulder. And let's take the leg just across the midline. Keep the knee straight. The iliotibial band crosses over the knee joint. And if the knee is bending here, you're not getting your full value out of this little event. Now we inhale back to center. Take the strap into the right hand. Take your left hand on top of the left thigh. Is it firm? Take a breath in and exhale, releasing the right leg out to the side. And I got my right elbow on the floor. That just helps me anchor the midline of my body. As I reach out through my right big toe mount, but draw the pinky toe towards the outer hip. And one more breath. Drawing back up to center. Let's slip the left foot up under the strap. Take the right leg out. See how easy this is? Boom, 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 boom. Your little tune-up. Let's take the left hand to the outer left hip. Are you centered on the sacrum? Centering on the sacrum. Knee is straight. And we take the leg again across the center line. So keep dialing your knee out. So your left knee is looking up towards the left shoulder, not the right shoulder. And we'll inhale back up. Switch hands. Right hand on top of the right thigh. Is it firm? Take a breath in and exhale all the way out. Lengthening. Both big toe mounts extending out. Right leg is firm, not rigid. Anchoring. And inhale all the way out. Take your right foot up under the straps. So now both legs are up. And then invite a gentle pull down on the strap. And as you do that, notice how your bandhas might begin to engage Mula Bandha as you press the heels up into the strap. Pelvic floor engaged, lower abdomen is drawing in and up. Hold these actions, let go of the strap as you take the arms overhead. And the knees can bend here. So just keeping your thigh bones perpendicular to the floor. So upward facing, downward facing dog. If you turn your palms to face up, you can have a little bit more alignment of the shoulders, the spreading of the shoulder blades. Take the arms back up. So now we're in the sleeping tiger. And just a quick little review from last week. Retract the shoulders, so pull the shoulders down towards the earth. Shoulder blades are moving together. Protract the shoulders, lifting the arms up. And then take the arms overhead again. Overhead again. I know. Even doing it sort of the restorative downward facing dog takes a little bit of effort. All right, let's hug the knees in. And rock from side to side. And we're gonna roll all the way over to our side. We're gonna remove the strap to the side, roll over onto one side, and come into tabletop. And so we are getting ready for downward facing dog. And if you want to do downward facing dog on a chair or the wall, here it is. Tuck the toes on. This will be a short dog as you lift the hips. Step the feet about as wide as the mat. And then have a little bit of a play date with your dog, bending the knees, pedaling it out a little bit, maybe swinging the hips from side to side. What kind of movements can you discover here? Is there anything new? And then we begin to settle down the pose, bend the knees a little bit, get a little bit more lift of the hips. And then pull the hips back. We get a little bit more tractioning. And then maybe the heels will reach the ground. It's a maybe. They don't have to at all. But let the head hang. Give it just a nod and a shake. So that the neck gets a little break from carrying around this bowling ball. 10, 12, sometimes more pounds just hanging out there. And then looking up on the inhalation. And walk, feet to the hands to the feet. Bend the knees a wee bit. Take the hands to the hips, spike the heels down, and up you come. So, like I said, this bowling ball of a head. Ideally, ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip, hip over heels. But, so you can see me here. I'll aim it up a little bit for now. And that is probably the case for most of us when we're younger, but then how many people do you see here? For every inch the head drifts forward off this axis of the midline, it adds another 13 to 15 pounds of weight. So imagine what your muscles, what kind of weightlifting they're doing to make sure that your head doesn't tumble off. So that produces tremendous amount of strain on the neck. So the best, let's see if I can get it right. As you all are gonna lengthen out your strap, I'll aim the camera back down again. You can see the mat. We can get a little bit of more tone on the back. So you're gonna create a loop that's about a leg length from the greater trochanter to your ankle bone. So one of the things that happens with the forward head is the pec minors, they shorten. And then once they begin to shorten, they just continue to pull forward and it becomes a circle. So I really like this one from T.S. Little. Take your strap behind you. Hold it with both hands. And then step into it from the back. You're gonna have to crouch down a little bit. So I got both heels on the strap. My hands are behind me. So I'm holding the strap from behind. I'm gonna go all the way to the top of my loop. And I'm gonna straighten the legs. And that will pull the shoulders down my back. So this is mountain pose. Lift the heart. Lift the girls. And if you're feeling a little bit of a pull here, the pec minors might have been a little snug. So just a great release to do regularly. Now here, let's let the strap drop down and then stand without changing anything. Just let your hands come to rest the sides of the body. Palms facing the thighs. This is neutral. All standing poses. Everything we do is, to some extent, to make this easy and not hard. Which now have gotten us ready for sun salutations. And boy, was it a gorgeous day. Let's put some blocks at the top of the mat. I'm going to take my strap off the mat. And then stand between the blocks. Pretend again you're standing with the strap. There is some energy, that's the Uddana energy that travels up the front body, lifts it up. But then we have the Apana energy grounding through the back. So if you think of yourself like a great big Ferris wheel, starting at your feet, there's this upward energy, lifting everything up on the front body, including the corners of your mouth, up over the head, and then we have the Apana energy that grounds, it draws the shoulder blades down, maybe the tailbone lengthens down a little bit, and then the heels ground. Now we are swooping under the feet and we're traveling back up again with the Uddana energy. So we use these as we practice. Exhale, ground, Apana. Now inhale, draw the arms out and up, Uddana, reaching. Exhale, forward fold, Apana energy. Inhale, half forward fold, lengthen the spine. And let's exhale, step the right leg back. Taking your hands, not take that back, take the knees down. So if you like a blanket here, slide one under. And then inhale, lift the heart, lift the heart. So a little bit of a hip opening here first. And then exhale, let's move the blocks out of the way. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmer, and draw back to downward facing dog. Give the head a little nod and a shake as you spread the shoulder blades. And we inhale forward to plank pose. Take the knees down, flip the feet, lift up into our tall cobra. Tall cobra, lift the heart. This is Uddana. In breath is Uddana, out breath is Apana. Now, lifting the knees and draw back to downward facing dog. Let's look up on the inhalation. And as you exhale, we'll bring the right foot up between the hands and just help it along. No shame in that. Friendly country, take the left knee down. Take the hands again to the blocks. Either side, and then lift the heart. And because the back knee is down, it's okay to let the front knee travel past the ankle because it's not lower bearing. And then from here, give your back knee a little hop, and let's step it up. Forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms all the way up. Uddana. And exhale. Grounding as we bring the palms and the gaze to the heart. Inhale, let's take the hands, gaze to the sky, and exhale all the way down. Head hangs. Now inhale, look up, but keep the neck long. Exhale, step the left leg back. Now we're ready to travel. So the hands are on the blocks right beside the front foot. So you're not reaching for the blocks. So it's be easy. It's like your blocks are arm extenders. Because with a chair, you have a little bit different. You have to reach forward. Now from here, firm up the back leg, firm back leg, and then hug the hips together, hugging the hips together. And then notice as you did so, was there some lightness in the hands? And if so, maybe take the hands to the knee. Keep hugging the legs together, firm back leg. And then ask that Uddana energy, the lifting energy, can we draw it up, 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 up? maybe the arms comes up. Lengthen. And release the hands down, move the blocks again. And shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Take back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Notice as your head drops down in plank, keeping it lifted so it aligns as if you were standing in mountain pose. Let's take the knees down, flip the feet, lift the heart, lift the knees maybe, and draw back. Downward facing dog. Look up on the inhalation. And exhale, left foot travels up. Boom. Hands each side of the foot, unless a chair. And then let's get ourselves set up safely. So firm back leg, muscle wrapping around bone. Check. Hips hugging together. Walk the hands up to the knee. Or stay with the hands on the blocks. And then maybe as you inhale, is there energy that just wants to float up? Udana. Like a helium balloon just taking flight. Lifting, but still grounding. And exhale, take the hands down. Step the back legs a little bend and push. And I am at the top. Uttanasana. Bend the knees. Looking up as we sweep all the way up. Reaching and exhale. Back in Tadasana. Stand and feel. Connecting again on the in-breath. The front body draws upward. It's like your skin is lifting. And on the back body, everything supports grounding into the heels. With that imaginary strap. Wunderbar. We are ready for our next pose. Listener's couch, which is, I always think, this is a name that's given to two poses that are not the same, but who am I to argue? Taking a block, middle height. And then take your second block on the tall height. This is my thoracic spine between the shoulder blades. And this is my head. So I'm starting very, very safe in the head. If there is tension in the neck, you're going to want a taller block. Now, you may not need to have it taller, and you will know as you come down. So just watch as I will explain the pose. You will start with the knees bent. And then I'm going to make sure that I hit it right between the shoulder blade, the thoracic spine, so it's not in the low back. I'm going to let my head come to this. I'm like, well, that's not bad. I can investigate this. But if when I take the head down, I'll lay like this, my shoulders puffed up, my chin is back, that is nay, nay, nay. Then higher. From here, we clasp the elbows, take the elbows overhead. And then this is a big maybe. We'll take the legs long. To come out of this pose, we'll take one hand behind the head, under the head, lift the head. The other hand is free to support me as I roll off to one side. I should have shown it to the other side. You would have been able to see a little bit better. So let's see what happens. Let me see you come into the pose. Knees are bent first. And just take a moment to make sure that this is not dukkasana. Dukkha is suffering. It is sukhasana. Sukha is comfortable. Do not allow yourself to suffer in yoga. Last week we practiced with a blanket rolled up under the spine. Very much the same thing. It was a little baby step. And then from here, take the arms straight up, clasp the elbows, protract the shoulders and draw the elbows back. So you are lifting the forearms towards the sky and draw the shoulders back. Now, maybe straightening the knees out along the floor. That's a big maybe. So a really great pose to help reestablish less kyphosis. The spine that begins to round forward and it takes the head with it, and then there's a big old mess. So a lot of our neck issues originate in the thoracic spine. And breathing. Let's lift the arms up, switch the clasp of the elbows. If your arms become tingly or worse, numb, just take them out to the side instead. Don't take them overhead. We have something that's being swooshed. First thing first, a steady breath. And let's lift the arms up again. One hand under the head. Lift the head off the support, and then the other hand will catch you as you roll to that side. So knees are bent up and sitting up. Move the blocks out of the way and come onto your back again. Knees are bent up. We're ready for bridge pose. Arms tossed in along the side. Lifting halfway up. Now rolling the shoulders under. So you're in essence retracting here. Maybe interlace the fingers or simply bend the elbows so you have some push power. Keep the shoulder blades drawing together. And then here, take your bridge to the heavens. So that is the Udana energy. Taking care you're not flattening your neck in the process. So neutral neck. You can talk, you can sing, you can hum without problems. Let's do one more breath. And releasing down. Let everything relax. So bridge is a wonderful pose for the forward head posture because it helps lengthen out the muscles that are short. And we're going to do a little bit more about them in just a second. But, you know, there is no such thing as a bad bridge. So we're going to do it one more time. Let's inhale, lift the hips again, halfway up. Roll the shoulders together, not down, just together. Interlace the fingers. And then with an inhalation, Udana, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes. But make it a nice pose. Not one where you say, crap, we're doing bridge. A happy pose. A pose that's a benefit of nurture. One more breath. And releasing down. Let everything relax. And then take your block, just one block, and have it on the medium height. And place it on the mat so that the ends of the block, and you're in essence creating the same Jalandhara Bandha as we just did in bridge, but instead of the chest coming up to the head, now I'm taking my chin to the chest, but with a neutral spine, not a kyphotic spine. And then very slowly, rolling, turning the head, it's better word, to the right, turning the head to the right, rolling right along the rim of the skull. Go back, and you might feel some ropey business. That'd be the traps. And let's do it again, rolling along. So this shouldn't hurt. So the block is on the soft tissue under the skull. All of these levers and pulleys. Now, next time you roll and you're looking to the right side, staying here. And now take it, I was going to say a neck breath. What I'm trying to say is a shallow breath to keep the shoulders down, but breathing into the upper lungs. And as you exhale, relax down. Let's do that again. Shallow breath, heaving upward. And relax. Get on maybe a little bit more length. And then slowly let's draw to the other side. Rolling right along the rim of the block, right under the skull. And then I'm just going to go back and forth. Back and forth. You can close your eyes as you do this, so that is interoception. What does it feel like from the inside? Does this side feel different from the first side? We all have habits. Maybe your computer monitor is to the left, so you're always keeping your head sort of cocked to one side. So how do we spend our time? How we spend our time with our necks matters greatly. So let's stay on the side, relaxing the shoulders down. Take a deep upper chest breath. And slowly relax. So secondary breathing is a shallow breath, and the neck muscles, the scalenes, are part of what we use here to create that heaving in it. Let's do it again. Lifting the collarbones up and relax. And we roll slowly back to neutral. Now, same exit protocol. Let's take one hand under the neck, under the head. So when you lift the head up, it's fully supported. Take the block out and very carefully place the head down on your mat. If the chin is pulling up, again, away from the chest, just slide a blanket under your head so that we don't crane it back into, again, that forward head posture. Now we just lengthen these muscles. We need to bank them. We're going to do that with isometrics. So let's take the right hand to the right temple. And on an out breath, you're going to Pretend you're going to turn your head and look over your right shoulder, except you're not going to go anywhere. It's a pure isometric. So you're going to press the temple into your hand. You're going to activate the rotators in the neck and then relax. Let's do that 2 more times. As if you were to turn on the out breath, but the head is not going anywhere, but we are getting the muscles to engage, but without movement. We want them to have stability first. Let's do the other side. Breath in, and as you exhale, press the head into the hand into the head, and relax. And repeat 2 more times. And then after the 3rd time, placing the right hand at the temple again. This time, instead of a rotation, it's going to be a lateral, as if you're taking your right ear towards the right shoulder. So a side bend. So can you sense that you're activating different muscles than the rotation? Side bend. Three times. And other side. Left ear towards the left shoulder. Engaging on the out breath, relaxing on the in breath. And now place the heel of both hands on your forehead. And then pretend you're going to look down your shirt to see if you spilled on it. Because you're not going anywhere. But the front of the neck, the flexors, will engage. 3 times also. And then last, you may find it helpful just to take one hand and sort of cup your chin. The movement is if you're going to look up. You can also press the back of the head into the floor. You'll feel the back of the neck engaging, the extensors. And relaxing. And then letting go. And gently turn the head from side to side. And let it come to rest in the middle, sliding the legs long. And then bring all fingertips together, Samanavayu, consolidation. So now everything comes together. Relaxing your hands. Let everything relax completely. So scanning your body, are there areas that are still holding on? With the out breath, using that to ground. And you can go back to the wolf pack, the middle finger and ring finger. If your mind is very active in Shavasana, the Apana energy, the earth energy, can help ground. Allow your breath to deepen. And feel how that Udana energy, as you deepen the breath, it flows up, begins to awaken as you wiggle fingers and toes. Bend up your knees. Rock the knees gently from side to side. Eventually come all the way over onto right or left side, whichever your body likes. Pause. And then use your arms and hands to press up into a comfortable seated posture. We'll bring our palms together. When we chant Om, we are in essence chanting Brahmari breath, as that is the ending sound. So if you prefer Om over Brahmari, or you just have your own little jiggy tune to on along to, it's all good. We will close with 3 Oms today. Let's take a deep breath in. Bow your head towards your heart. And the gaze back up. Namaste. And thank you.